The debate about opening the schools here in Ireland, both secondary and primary. And I'm going to give my opinion. I think the schools should be closed, might say straight, because everything else is closed. It doesn't really make much sense to keep the schools open and the whole other parts of society is closed. Again, government's logic in lockdowns. As I said before, lockdowns really, to my opinion, and it doesn't really work, to be honest. Because as soon as you come out of the lockdown, obviously the case is going to rise and etc. 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 But the thing is, the two other points I'm going to make here is that the strain on your teaching staff, the strain on parents and even students in school on the mental health has been atrocious. Because they're worried, and I go to a secondary school, and I can see it in their faces, I can see it in the teachers' faces, they're worried, they're nervous, and even with the students, they're very nervous. And I actually have a few stories to tell you about it. There's actually a child I'm not going to say too much about it because obviously it protects his privacy. But a long story short, he's afraid really to come out of his room. This is a child that goes to national school. He's very afraid. He hasn't come out of his room since he's got his Christmas holidays, and he's very nervous. He's very worried about it. And this is what the media and everything's causing people. Just to be afraid, really, and it's causing young people a lot of fear and a lot of worry. And it's obviously causing your teachers equally the amount of worry. And it's just the toll on the mental health, and obviously Nora Foley, in what she said, the minister, I'm going to call her from now on, Crooked Nora. It's basically said the other day, I quote what she said, they were ready for a rise in cases as soon as school opens. And that's very reassuring to parents. And then, I know a few parents have been discussing with me about they're very worried. They are very worried because they have young children, they're very worried. And obviously young children are very, very, I suppose, anxious is the word to describe. Very anxious about going to school. They're worried. People that go to national school, they'd be very worried, they'd be very nervous. I'm sure you and I would be very nervous in this circumstance. Where everything's weird and teachers are wearing masks and it's very different. It's very different to what it was, say, last year. It's well, not last year, but the year before that. It'd be very weird for them children. It's obviously very weird. But I think the school should stay closed. And obviously, there's the question of online learning. I think it's a lot better, to be honest. I really do think it's a lot better. Because I think it challenges young people a lot more. Because when I was at home, I had to do a lot of stuff myself. I didn't have help from the teacher, and I found it a lot easier. To be honest, I found it a lot easier. And I felt I felt like a couple shopping, sorry, my English. When I done it on my own. But again, some people have different opinions, some people don't. But again, it doesn't make sense. The one big point I'm making, it doesn't make sense. And why they have schools open and they don't open the pubs, they don't open the churches. It doesn't make sense because again, there's a huge amount of numbers. In my school I go to, there's well nearly 700, give or take 700, 600. And that's a huge amount for it's a big enough school, but at the same time the classrooms are very big. The highest, I think one classroom in the school has nearly 36 pupils. And they're all packed into a classroom, no such thing as social distancing. But then you have the people in the door now and they're just 100 metres away from each other, 100 years away from each other. So look, we let them be at that if they want to. But yeah, it is worrying. I don't understand you parents' concerns. And obviously Normal Foley's not helping situations. I might say, as we would say, crooked Noah. But yeah, all of them are crooked. There's no politician in this country straight. Not in the word relationship straight, but not straight, not well in the head, let's put it that way. But yeah, it is very nervous. I understand the young people's concerns. I understand it's very difficult, especially with the lockdowns and things. That's very nervous. It's very nerve-wracking. And the biggest thing behind it is fear. It's fear. It's fear and worry. That's the thing that's really, really annoying people. And obviously, I just want to take the time. The school I go to, teachers are extremely helpful. They do their best, and obviously, I wasn't at school for a while. I just want to commend them for helping me out, especially one or two teachers who helped me out and everything. It's been amazing support for me. I just want to thank all the other teachers around the country for helping children during this difficult time. Guidance counsellors, principals, deputy principals, caretakers especially, because obviously they have to work longer hours. They have actually some caretakers, I know in Calvin, have to go in on the weekend to cover the classrooms because they have to dissect the classrooms every week. it's not easy. It's not easy to, to have to go in and do a lot of schools, and obviously it's requires understaffing of caretakers. For example, when I'm actually on that topic, I have it here. There's actually a national school in Cavan that actually has a big enough number that only had one caretaker. For a good say 300 pupils. To go around the corridors and things like that. And that's when the schools closed down for the lockdown, first lockdown. They still only have that one caretaker. Which is obviously going to be, that's obviously, I really do sympathise with that caretaker because there's a lot to do. 300 students, have to go around dissecting the desks, dissecting everything, washing the floors. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. And I just want to say to that man, keep up his good work. Hopefully, they do get somebody, because they did put in a request to get an extra caretaker. But we'll see what happens there. But hopefully they do get one, because the funding is there. Like, there's been an extreme amount of funding given, in fairness to the Department of Education, for different things and this, that, So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. I know it's a very hot topic at the moment. But it's just, well, from where I'm coming from, it's better for young people, I think, to stay at home, and just to relax, and to do work online. I think it's a lot more easy on them, because there's been a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety around, and I think that's the best option. I know some people might disagree with me, but I think it's the best option, because there's a lot of stress and a lot of work, and you can see it in the national schools, you can see it in the secondary schools, you can see worry, you can see fear, and that's that's not something to be taken unnoticed, I suppose. So yeah, thank you for watching. Take care, and bye.